Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Donovan, and today we're going to do an unboxing and first look and also a first run with the new Garmin Forerunner 45. And I shouldn't say it's new because it's actually been out for quite a while now. And we're going to do some comparisons also with some of the features you get on the 45 versus the 245 Music. So I've been using the 245 Music since it was launched, but I did just pick up the 45, mostly just to review, to test it out, and do some comparisons with some other budget-friendly watches. So this one is now down to $150, and the Garmin Forerunner 245 Music is also down a little bit in price. It's down to $249 last I checked. So I'll leave links down in the description if you're interested in checking either of these two watches out. Like I said, I'll be doing some feature comparisons in this video, and then also just kind of take a look at the Forerunner 45. So first thing you'll see here is just some specs. I really like that they put these specs here on the box, and you can see here they do that with the 245 Music as well, and they do that with all their watches from Garmin. So we have up to 7 days on watch mode, 13 hours on GPS mode as well. Here you'll notice that it says 6 hours with GPS plus music. So that's if you're using GPS and music at the same time. Basically with just GPS, you're getting the same battery life out of the 245 Music. So in terms of battery life, basically about the same. 5 atmospheres water resistant, 42 millimeter size. That's the watch face itself. This one does come with Garmin Coach incident detection assistance, live tracking, smart notifications. So it is, of course, a smartwatch. We have our wrist-based heart rate, which is using that first beat technology, which I will say also comes on the 245 Music. It has been phenomenal for me. The heart rate monitor is really spot on all the time. And then, of course, we have some Connect IQ watch faces as well. So let's go ahead and unbox it. Not a whole lot of drama here because this is a watch that's been out for a little while now, but let's go ahead and just open it. And so it comes with a little bit of instruction booklet there. We have the watch itself. Now, one thing I did notice is that this one does not have a removable band, I believe. So we have our typical Garmin charging connector there. I have plenty of those laying around, and you can get a bunch of third-party ones that work just fine as well. We do have a little screen protector on it as well. And we're going to go ahead and fire it up. I believe it's the light button. Yeah, light button. And we'll go ahead and get it set up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like next to my Forerunner 245 Music. So both these watches obviously are designed specifically for runners in mind. And I got a whole bunch of notifications here. So let's get rid of all those. So you can see here, as far as the button setup, you can see it's exactly the same. So we have light, up, down. This is the start, stop, and this is the back button. So everything is identical there. As far as the buttons here, these are 100% plastic. Now on the 245 Music, they are a little bit on the mushy side, but they are, you can see these ones are at least, they look metallic. I believe it's just kind of like a metallic coating over the buttons themselves. But you can see that the watch face itself is a little bit bigger on the 245 Music as well. So let's go ahead and set this up. So I'm going to pair it up to my phone. All right, so I have the 445 all connected up to my phone, and I wanted to just go ahead and run through some quick software tips. Some of these are going to be very familiar. If you're familiar with Garmin watches, they're basically the exact same thing here. As far as my 245 music, it's basically identical. So the button layout again is the same. So we have light, up, down, start, stop, and back. The start, stop button is also our select button. So if you want to ever select anything in the menus, you'll go ahead and hit the start, stop button. And another thing worth noting here, the same screen technology, so they have that trans-reflective display, very visible in bright sunlight, but you can see obviously this one is significantly larger. They'd actually make a smaller version of the Forerunner 45, which is a 39 millimeter. This one's the 42 millimeter. So you can see the screen is obviously quite a bit smaller. So if you need that larger screen real estate, the Forerunner 245 music is definitely the way to go. But let's go ahead and run through some quick software tips here. So if you just hit the up and down button, this is going to take you through your various shortcuts. You can adjust these in the settings. So I'm not going to go through all the details of how to adjust these. May save that for another video, but just by hitting up and down, it'll take you through your various shortcuts. So the first one down for me is health stats. This is by default. Here's my day. So it didn't actually, I will point out that it didn't actually carry over everything. So notice that this one has training status not available on here. So one of the things that you get with the Forerunner 245 music is you actually get training status. So you have to, I think, run on, I think it's 7 days before it'll actually update your training status. But you can see you have training load, your VO2 max. This one does, I think, support VO2 max though. So it's telling me that I should wait 43 hours before I run again. That's just because it's not updated. I've only been wearing it for the last, I think, 3 or 4 days. So none of this is updated either, because literally yesterday, I think it was 2 days ago, I ran a 1:29 half marathon. So just, in training. So obviously that doesn't update for a little bit. It takes a few days for it to catch up. But let's go ahead and go back through here. So there's my day. Here is my notification. So if I want to actually go into it, I can click on it, and you can see basically it's just a thanks for registering. That's as far as it'll get in the email. Notice I can't do anything more. It's basically just showing me what the name of the email is. That's about it. So go back through here. So there's notifications. Here is the weather. I can get more detailed weather here, and you can scroll down. So it's going to give you your hourly, and if you scroll down again, it'll give you your daily weather. And let's go down again. So this is the workout I did earlier today. Now, this workout was actually with the Forerunner 245 music, so it's not going to be accurate for this watch. So I'm going to do another 4-mile run later today, so I'll get a first test run with this watch. So here are events, so calendar, and then back to the watch face. So if you want to change your watch face, and this will also do any of your other settings, you can go here, click up, and there's where we're going to change the watch face. We can go in here and set an alarm. Also check out our history. That's our workout history, and then more settings. Here's our widgets. So that is where I can adjust those widgets. So I was calling them shortcuts. They actually call them widgets. And if you want to add widgets, you can do that as well. So let's hold that back down. And so we have wrist-based heart rate. Let's see what it says. Status is auto. It'll let you know if you have an abnormal heart rate, and then broadcast the heart rate. And let's see here, sensors and accessories. So if you want to add an accessory, like for instance, a heart rate monitor, a chest heart rate monitor, you can do that here. So you can see that that's an option there. Obviously with this one, you can add Bluetooth headphones. So if you want to use music, so this is the 245 music, you can add headphones here. Obviously you can't do that. So that's connecting it to a phone, your user profile, safety. So this is down here. Notice that it does have the assistance. So it'll contact someone for you. Actually, that was the wrong box here. So here it is. There it is, assistance. Also, live tracking is available. So that's what this is here. And then this is just some system information. That's where you'll reset it and all that. Another thing to mention here, these are the shortcuts if you hold the light button down. So just one touch is going to give you your backlight. But if you hold it down, it'll take you into your shortcuts here. So this is your assistant shortcut, waiting for phone. So that's just, I think, telling me that you can lock the keys. There's a power off, timer, stopwatch, and so you can go into that stuff as well. All right, so let's say I want to start a workout. I'm going to go ahead and hit start, and you can see I can run through here. Now, interestingly, if I do the same thing over here on the 245 music, notice that, oops, I got an email there. Okay, so we'll go into trail run, walk, and I can go down here, and you can see there's just a bunch of them available, and I can add even more. So tons of things you can track there. Another notification. So we got biking, walking, cardio, and then we can add some. So let's see what we can add here. Oops, and go okay. What will let me do? I don't know. Oh, it says, okay, so you have to connect it to Garmin Connect in order to add activities here. All right, so let's say I want to start a run, so I can go ahead and go here. It's going to wait for GPS, but I can go down here into options, and I can take a look at various workout options. There's some data screens, so if I want to adjust what it's going to show, right now by default it's going to show distance, time, and pace. I like to have heart rate in there, so you can see that if you scroll down, heart rate zone, heart rate, calories, and then apparently the third screen is going to be time, but you can adjust what it says there. We have our alerts, so that's like a heart rate alert or a pace alert. You can set those up there. You can set up laps, so auto lap, and then your lap key on.
All right, so now let's go ahead and talk about some strengths of the Forerunner 45. Number one, actually, let's talk about two that are most important. Number one is the heart rate monitor and the GPS. So as far as tracking your heart rate, I find that it's pretty much spot on with what I expected, and that is it's almost always within a beat or two of my Apple Watch Series 5. So that's really good. That tells me that the optical heart rate sensor is a very good optical heart rate sensor. So I know some people have a negative view of those. You can, of course, sync this up with an Ant Plus heart rate monitor, chest strap if you want. But so far, I found it to be very accurate. So I'm not worried about that at all. The other thing is the GPS. So the GPS so far has been also very accurate. As with other Garmin watches that I've experienced in the past, when I went through some very, very deep woods, I did lose 2/100. So I ran for about half a mile to a mile through some pretty deep woods, and it did lose 2/100ths of a mile during that time. But overall, the GPS on this watch has been pretty much exactly what I expected, which is to say very, very good. All right, and the last strength I want to mention is the price, of course. So coming in at $149, I think that this watch has a lot to offer. It's definitely missing some features that we already mentioned, but for $149 right now, I think it's a great price. When it was originally $199, I definitely felt like it was a little bit overpriced. And Garmin watches in general, I kind of feel like when they first come out tend to be a little overpriced, but right now all their watches are on sale. Whether you look on Amazon, if you look at Garmin's website itself, they're all pretty much on sale right now. So I would say now is the time to get them while they have those discounts, because I think probably pretty soon they're going to be coming out with their new line of watches. So now is the time to get last year's watches like the Forerunner 245 Music, the Fenix 6. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you're probably not looking at a Fenix 6, but if you are, that's available too. It's $150 off right now for the Fenix 6. The Garmin Venue, I think, is like $100 off. Originally it was $400, now it's all the way down to $300. So anyways, I will leave links down in the description if you're interested in any of those Garmin watches. Also, while I'm at it, the Apple Watch Series 5 is about $100 off right now as well. So now's the time to buy a smartwatch for sure, because they've all gone down in price through, whether that be because of COVID-19 or whatever. They're all kind of lower prices right now. So again, check them out in the video description. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Excellent talk.